Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Welcome to the third webinar. Today, a path that has started 2 weeks ago is going to finish. In the first two appointments, we have talked about the Italian Startup Act. We have explored the Smart and Start program and gotten to know many key players of the Italian startup ecosystem, such as the president of the Italian University Incubators Association or the president of the Italian Venture Capital Funds Association, and so on and so forth. Today, I think that we're going to approach a very interesting webinar because it's a very technical one. It's a very insightful one, very fertile and fruitful for people like you who intend to set up a new company in Italy. We have 4 professionals coming from 3 different organizations. The first one on my right is going to be Marco Vianello from InfoCamere. That is the IT company of the Italian Chambers of Commerce, who is going to describe the way in which Italian startups can be incorporated almost free of charge and online, which is quite innovative for our legal framework. Then we have Flavio Notari from Legalitax, who is going to tell us everything we ever wanted to ask about the Italian tax framework. And then we have 2 speakers from another law firm, Legal Grounds, Nicole Mimum, who is going to talk about corporate law, and then we have Alessandro, who is going to teach us everything we should know about immigration law. Let me just tell you a few words about the previous webinars. They have been a great experience for us. It's been very satisfactory to share this knowledge that we think is useful for people coming from several non-EU countries intending to set up a new company in Italy. Let me take the occasion also to welcome Tree, the IT company that has allowed technically this experimental initiative, and Invitalia, who's hosting it physically and who has supported us throughout the process.
Thank you.
Thank you, Alfredo. So now we'll shut up and leave the stage to Marco. Marco, what should we know about the new online procedure to start new businesses in Italy?
Well, good morning, everyone. Thank you, Mattia. We are going to see how to establish an innovative startup online. We basically need 3 things: an internet connection, a digital signature device, and you will have to know a little bit of Italian. You will have to understand a little bit of Italian, because the website is in Italian and there won't be any English version of the website. First of all, let me give you a few law references. January 2015, the Innovative Startup Article of Association could be drafted as a public deed, digitally signed. Then we have 2 more steps, but basically from July 2016 onwards, we can establish an innovative startup online. The website. The website, here you can find the address of the website, but if you don't remember the address, just search on Google for startup and registering Paese, and the first result you will get is the website we are looking for. So shall we go to the website? This is the website, and you have to go for the, well, I told you that there will be some Italian, crea la tua startup, which is establish, incorporate your startup. You just click on it, and then there is the access to the service. Okay, right, the system will ask you whether you are registered or not. At this moment, it doesn't really matter if you are registered or not. but at a certain stage you will have to be registered users. Okay, for the moment, just forget about this. We just click on compila, and then you have the website will give you few choices. Upper right corner you have a menu. The menu will allow you to save your job, recall it maybe the day after, the week after, and continue. Right in the middle you have a few instructions in Italian, and you have all the steps you have to go through. You have the atto costitutivo, which is the article of association. You have the statuto, which is the statute. And then a check and sign, but we'll see it later on. The first thing to do is to fill out the article of association, the atto costitutivo. You just click on it, and on the left part of the website, you will have all the section of the article of association. The date, the subscribers, the name of the company, the head office, and a few other information. You have to fill out all the information. Now, to speed up the presentation, I have a sample of the article of association. I just recall it, and you will see that all the information are filled out. If you see the subscribers, you get Luigi Marangon. If you have the denomination, the name of the company, you have Luigi Startup SRL. All the fields have been filled out. The next step is to fill out the statute. So you just click on it, and again you have on the left part of your website all the different fields that have to be filled out. Again, to speed up presentation, I get the sample, and I get this one, and you have all the information there. Okay. Right. Now you have the article of association and you have the statute. The system will allow you to check them. So you just click on controlla, that means check. And the system will run as a sort of a check or a formal check of the two documents you have just created. Okay. The system says, okay, the checks are fine, go ahead. The next step is to digitally sign the two documents. So you just click on firma, which is sign. Just click on it. In that moment, you will need to have the digital signature device. If you have it, fine. If you don't have it, there are a lot of players on the market where you can go and buy one. You just click on yes if you have one. The system will ask you a few information about yourself. You just click on prosegui, which means go ahead, and then you will have to sign it. You will have to sign the two documents, the article of association, and you will have to sign the statute. Once you have signed both of the documents, you can ask for the assistance to the Chamber of Commerce. Right corner, over here, assistenza. You can ask for the assistance, which is a peculiar assistance. The Chamber of Commerce will get in contact with you by email or by telephone, and they will check the documents whether the company you are just about to establish is a innovative startup, whether the company has the characteristics of the innovative startup. If they have, fine, and they will say, okay, the checks are fine. If they haven't, they will tell you what to amend, how to amend the documentation. Okay. Once the Chamber of Commerce says, okay, they're fine, the documents are fine, you are just halfway through. Okay, you're halfway of the process. You need to do 2 more steps, which is, the first one is the registration to the National Revenue Agency, and the second one is the registration, the filing into the business register. Okay. From now on, you will have to be a registered user. You remember that at the very first beginning, it didn't really matter, but from now onwards, you will have to be a registered user. So therefore, you will click on Registrati ora, register now. You will give a few information about yourself, name and surname, email, few other stuff, very easy. You will get a user and a password, okay? And with that user, you will log in to the system. Once you are logged in, you will find your paperwork, your documents into your logged in area, because the Chamber of Commerce have put all the paperwork into your logged in area. Okay? You will find you just click on Lista Pratiche to retrieve your documents. You will have this menu, Seleziona Pratica. That means that you will have to click on the paperwork just created. And more than likely, that paperwork, you will have just one paperwork, not many of them. You just click on it, and then you come up with this shot. You will have to fill out a few fields with a few information, which is the regional office, which is the certified electronic email. You will have to attach the payment receipt and the Model 69. Now, these 2 documents, if you upper right corner, if you click on Guide, which is kind of a help online, you will get this menu. Bottom part of the menu, you will have Guida alla registrazione fiscale, which is an help online, really. And you will get an example of the Model 69 and an example of the payment for the registration to the National Revenue Agency. Okay. Now, let's go back here. You just fill out all the information. You just attach the documents, payment receipt, and the Model 69. And the system will send everything through to the agency. The agency will respond with an email. And that email, you will get a number of the paperwork. Okay? So then when you receive an email, you will have to fill out this part on the right-hand side of the website, where you have the number of the registration, and you will get that number on the email, and the receipt of the registration. Okay? You just click on Carica ricevuta, recall the receipt. Again, information about who you are, and then you send everything through. Now, what you're doing now is sending all your documents, all your paperwork, article of association, statute, to the business register. You have just sent all the documents to the agency, to the revenue agency. Now you're sending the same documents to the business register. This paperwork in Italy is called pratica. This is a word you have to be familiar with. When you send your pratica or paperwork to the business register, you are sending all your documents to the business register. The business register, the Chamber of Commerce actually, will receive them, and after a few days they will come back to you saying, okay, that's fine, or no, it's not fine, please recheck this, or please amend that. But you will get an answer from the Chamber of Commerce. If everything is okay, the Chamber of Commerce will send you an email to your certified email saying, okay, your company has been established, and this is the, let's call it visura, which is a company profile. Okay. From that moment, your company is alive and kicking, and you can start operating as a company, as an innovative startup company. I'll hand it back for the moment to Mattia. If there is any question.
There are a lot of questions, so don't worry
okay.
about that. Yes, so just to sum up, the quintessential reason why people should use this method instead of the standard one. What is the answer, in your opinion, to this question? Why should one consider this opportunity of setting up his or her innovative startup online through this procedure?
Well, the main reason is that you don't need anyone else apart from you.
First.
Yes. And you don't have to ask to anyone else, to any other professional. And
also known as notaries.
Oh yeah, notaries or any other professional. But the other reason is that, Chamber of Commerce are very sensitive about this, and they are very they are ready to provide you with a lot of help. We saw earlier on that the Chamber of Commerce can give you an assistance about this. So you can actually fill up complete all the documents and ask to the chambers if those documents are fine, and they will tell you. Okay, but you don't have to go to any notary or any other professional. You don't have to pay money to do that check. Okay.
Well, this is a very sophisticated and elaborate answer. Can I be just more essential and
Yes,
quick?
you can, Mattia, please.
Well, it takes place without the help of a mediator.
Absolutely.
So it's faster.
It's cheaper.
It's cheaper.
Well,
Let's
say it's much cheaper.
Like usually for standard incorporations, you go to somebody called notary, which is totally fine, and you can still do that, absolutely. And this figure does what now the Chamber of Commerce does. That is, it verifies whether the deeds of incorporation and the statutes are right, etc. The difference is that you pay averagely 2,000 euros for that. And here it's basically free of charge.
Absolutely.
And it's also a matter, I liked your answer also because it's a matter, I think, of networking capital. You get to know the Chamber of Commerce. The Chamber of Commerce is a player on the economic arena of this country. It can help you get in touch with other professionals. It can take the occasion to inform you about bids or measures on a regional or national level.
Absolutely. Economic figures, economic numbers, economic information about your business and any other business.
So in my humble opinion, it's also a matter of economic integration of yourselves within the Italian entrepreneurial ecosystem. We have we have many questions.
Yes.
I will try to answer to a very basic but natural one. That is, why is all this just in Italian? Well, first of all, let's say that for now it's just in Italian. Secondly, consider that we have 6,300 innovative startups in Italy, and basically 95% of them have been launched and are managed by Italians. So it's quite natural that we start from a platform that is
An
just
Italian platform, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
Third, humbly speaking, you will need to get acquainted with this language, so it could be also a good exercise for you. Fourth, we admit very humbly again that it's bad. This platform is not in English yet. The problem is that there's a long history that I won't tell you about behind this platform. In very practical and short terms, there's a fight, a war going on between the professionals we somehow excluded from this procedure and the setup of this new procedure that takes place without mediators. So since this war was so politically incorrect and bloody, we needed to focus on the legal and IT infrastructure related issues, and we did not focus yet on the linguistic side of the matter. So excuse us for this, but we'll try to work on that in the next few months.
Absolutely, yes.
Okay, so I would start to forward you the questions that have come so far. So there are lots of questions, our chat is burning, and I think that you guys should calm down for a while, because otherwise we won't be able to digest all the questions that have come so far. The first one is from Sajad Ahmad. He says that he has a question on the capital section.
Yes.
And then he says, we asked permission to move our business from UK to Italy, where the business has some in-house built software, domain names, trademarks, and so on, which has a book value as of company's assets. How we can add them into company's paid up capital while setting up the company? It's quite hard to understand what you meant, Sajad. Let me just clear up some premises about your question, like the answer that should be given to your question. Maybe we can deal with it separately later on. But first of all, let me tell you that this new online procedure, free of charge and so on and so forth, regards just exclusively newly incorporated companies, Italian companies established as limited liability companies under the Italian law, that is SRL, Società Responsabilità Limitata. So if you mean to set up a branch or move your current LTD to Italy, this doesn't regard you, because we're talking about exclusively about newly established, newly incorporated companies under the Italian law. Then you were asking lots of things about moving capital, company assets, etc., but it was not really clear, so sorry for that. But of course, we are fully available to reanalyze your question later on after this webinar. Just write to info.Italia Startup VISA at misc.gov.it, and we'll be more than happy to be able to answer to your questions. So the second question is from Danish Rehman. And the question was, why is this website not in English? I already answered to this question.
We already answered that.
And you also ask, what is the solution to this issue? If you don't want to wait for us to translate the site, which is something that we engage ourselves to do,
we will do that.
My very pragmatic suggestion is to get in touch with an accountant or a lawyer or some professionals that are knowledgeable of the Italian language and can help you sort out the matter. So your reaction could be, why then have you set up this procedure online, free of charge, free of mediators? Well, we thought about it firstly and primarily for people able to speak a language, and anyway, you should get in touch with Italian accountants. If you want to, like any limited liability company in Italy deals periodically with accountants or lawyers. Sooner or later you need to do it. Then you can start just now and get in touch with this professional. Ivan Materos, this is a very interesting question that maybe should be forwarded to Nicole and Alessandra. He asks whether he could use this procedure only after receiving his permesso di soggiorno or also before. Maybe we can write it down and they will answer later on. Ivan.
All the question back and we will answer later on.
Thank you, Ivan. Then we have, because by the way, because Ivan has been told that in the Camera di Commercio, that is the Italian Chamber of Commerce, available in his territory, they told him that they can't provide digital signature to people who are not, who don't have a residence permit. So probably this is the answer to your question, but we'll leave the stage to Nicole and Alessandra later, and they will be more than happy to answer. Sajad, this is a very technical question that I think you can deal with. He asks, the system is asking for PDF-A documents to be uploaded. Yes. Please explain the procedure to create PDF-A files from PDF and list of documents that should be uploaded in the articles.
Well, no, the system will create the PDF itself, okay? The system, basically, technically speaking, the system works on an XML file, okay? And when you will have to, you will come to sign the file, that file still will be an XML file. Then the system will transform that file into a PDF, and you will look at the file as a PDF. But the real file, the real file is an XML. The system itself will translate it into a PDF-A. The PDF-A file is just a new PDF version of the PDF. So it's not really, don't really look into this PDF-A. It's just a new version of the PDF file. But the system will translate this XML file into a PDF file. Okay.
Okay. Thanks. So we have another couple of questions. Wait a second, because I'm getting lost. So, another very easy question to be answered. Danish Rehman asks how long it will take for the Chambers of Commerce to check and confirm.
That's a very interesting question. It depends. There is no answer for that question. It depends on a lot of things. It depends on how good or how bad are the documents. If there are too many things to amend, or there are just a couple of things to amend. It really depends. I would say, from my experience, that this assistance might take 2, 3, 4, up to 10 days, I would say. Reasonably speaking, up to 10 days, I would say. But it really depends on how those documents have been made up. Okay. But I would say just a few days.
There's no, how to say, explicit deadline, but I've been told by some lawyer here that under the Italian administrative law, when no other deadline is explicit, then the 30 days deadline applies. So in any way, it will be longer. Within a month, you will have an answer. It won't.
But I would say much less than that.
Yeah, don't worry, it won't take that much. Then we have a very easy question by my best Nepalese friend, Arvind Bhagat. Does the company need to be SRL, or it can be an SRLS as well for it to be innovative? I observe with pleasure that you're getting acquainted with the Italian corporate law, and well, that's very technical. The answer is very easy. It applies just to standard not simplified, standard SRLs.
SRLs.
Why? Because they are 85% of innovative startups currently registered as such, first. Second, standard SRL, simplified SRLs already benefit from a few advantages. For example, the minimum share of capital subscribed can be also by €1 first. Second, the notary is not allowed to ask you for money for his service.
Money, yes.
Third, they already benefit from a standard acts of incorporation and statute, but it's a very rigid one. So we discourage, honestly speaking, the use of this methodology to set up your SRL. So the next question is. The next question was by Maxime, and he was asking whether the screen of the speakers was shared or not. Of course, it's already shared. Maybe you have some windows over it. If it still doesn't work, if you check out and it doesn't work, then log out and then log in again. It will work. Then we have Lalit Gautam. Lalit Gautam is congratulating himself with you for this. He says it's wonderful and very innovative. Thank you.
Thank you.
Then Danish asks, what is the fee for business revenue agency and chamber of commerce?
Well, again,
Chambers of Commerce, there are no fees to be paid to the Chamber of Commerce because we know that innovative startups are exempted from annual fees, normally due to Chambers of Commerce and also duty stamps.
Exactly.
But we have some other fees, about €300.
Yeah, that was the payment I was talking about earlier on. It's about 200, 300 euros. It depends on a few other things. I won't get into details, but you're looking at 150 to 300 euros. That's the total cost of the whole thing, basically.
Okay. Then Maxime asks whether we can share this presentation and the following presentations via Dropbox. The answer, of course, is yes.
Absolutely yes.
As we did in the last few webinars.
Yeah.
They will be shared by email. If they are too heavy, as is probably the case with Flavio's presentation, they will be shared via Dropbox. And then Sajad has 3 questions. We asked permission to move our business from UK to Italy, where the business has some in-house built software, domains, names, trademarks, etc. Yeah. That's the first, we already said it. Yeah. Okay, then we have the PDFA question already done, and then, okay, so, sorry, already dealt with them. So Maxime asks, so basically we save time and money with this process, right?
Absolutely, yes.
Then Andrei Gilin from Russia asks whether you can give good advice or reference for digital signature device suppliers?
Well, there are many in Italy. I'm not sure. Well, I don't know.
Speak freely.
Poste, InfoCert, Aruba. They're all very good players, and you can go to any of them, and any device of them will do. So it's not really a problem. Aruba, InfoCert, Poste.
Okay. What if we get digital signature device from the Chamber of Commerce of one province or region and use it to create startup in another province or region? Can that digital signature work in that case?
Yes.
Sure.
Yes.
Sure.
Yes. No problem at all.
Do we need any office address in Italy? And can we use our flat address or need office space? This was the last question.
Yes, you can use any address you want in Italy. Has to be in Italy, obviously. Yeah, it can be your flat or anything like that. But you will have to declare where your office is and a few other stuff about your office. But yes, as long as it's in Italy, that will do, yes.
So, thank you very much. Thank you for
You're very welcome.
making so many questions.